All right. You can see my screenshot, right? Yes.
Yep.
All right. All right. I'll just count down myself. Three, two, one, go. All right. So this is a Luigi's Mansion remake. Um, it is a remake of the 2001 Luigi's Mansion game that you just saw a run of a few moments ago. And immediately you're gonna notice I'm going to the right door because in this game the left door isn't really any faster. So I just go through the right door because it's a shorter line. And the candles are also more annoying. I have Lando here, who just did the last run as a LM1 runner who has very little knowledge of this game, so he might be like you guys, seeing a lot of these things for the first time. I'm also
Yep.
playing on.
So, oh, sorry. I'm just gonna kind of be reacting to the run and just see it from a new LM1 runner perspective.
Yeah, so I'm playing on Japanese because the text is faster. I actually move around in that little cutscene right there. In this game, you kind of have to wiggle the control stick to damage ghosts optimally. You don't do pumps like you do in the original, which makes ghost catching way harder. I should mention that there's a Mario amiibo you can use to get rid of poison mushrooms. I don't really have, I have one, I just don't know where it is, so I'm not using it, which means poison mushrooms are going to be an issue in this run. And because of how slow you deal damage, they usually spawn from portrait ghosts, so they might mess me up. Sorry about that notification sound effect. So here, the area 1 is basically the same as regular LM1. There isn't really any differences minus the ghosts being harder to deal with. Scare skipping in this game is really weird. You can be in the Game Boy Horror and still get scared, which is really stupid. But one good change is that the flashlight. Well, I say good, but it's not really. It's just it makes the game easier. The flashlight does not degrade in power over distance. Same with the vacuum. So like I can stand really far away from ghosts and stun them and still get them. That was an unfortunately missed double. Ooh, that's rough. But yeah, so the beginning here is gonna be a lot like LM1, except for the fact that I deal a lot less damage, which definitely makes it harder. But it's still not crazy different just yet. Ooh, only one banana. That's really hard to get. That means I had a good suck up. Ah, that was unfortunate.
One big change I can already tell from the remake and the original game is that the like vines that go on doors that adds an extra cutscene for no reason.
Yeah, that's a really weird change. I forgot about that change, honestly. Dude, come on. So yeah, keys are also way more annoying to deal with. Like, this entire game is just way more annoying to deal with. Also, no map glitch because that's been patched. And you can't really soft reset this game. So, it wouldn't even be possible if it wasn't.
Hmm.
So yeah. Neville is going to be different because unlike the original game where you can, like, be facing away from him and still latch onto him. In this game, I don't know what they changed, but they changed something so that I can't just face away and lock onto him immediately. I have to manually do it. Another change that you'll see is that if you hold the B button while using your vacuum, you can actually manually aim it without having to use like the C stick or anything. So there, I can do something like that, which is definitely different from how you do it in LM1. I got the one cycle, and the poison mushroom hopefully stays away from me. Also, the chests in this game have an X prompt that you have to be able to see before you can open them. Whereas in LM1, you kind of
Hmm.
just press the A button and they work.
Can you chest glitch in this version or no?
I mean, you kind of can. The X prompt needs to be there for a chest to be opened.
I see.
So if the X prompt's not there, then you won't open it. This curtain's really stupid. I'm gonna sucker up in a different spot because if I am in the corner there and it spawns a poison mushroom, it's very likely to hit me. So I'm gonna try to like kind of stay at the top of the room here, so that way I have more room to avoid it, like that. So Laser Crusader is patched in this, so I won't be able to do it. Instead, I'll have to be doing it like how we used to do it in LM1. where
Mm.
you rock it and then move back and get the ball afterwards. So unfortunately, we're losing time to that. It's been a while since I've done this, honestly. And that camera pan is not usually like that.
Hmm.
Alright, so now we have to turn around and get this using the C stick or the B button, and then aim it at him and shoot it. One thing I should mention that almost nobody probably notices is that in this game, if you only have pearls, you can actually skip the money count, like how you can in LM1 if you have no money.
Really?
Which, yeah, which basically means if you have no pearls, it's the same as having no money at all. Which is really nice, actually. It means that almost every run you can have no money on the money screen. I actually think that's a pretty nice change, although I don't think they meant to do it for speedrunning. It was probably just an accident or something.
Mm. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so because the damage in this, the vacuum is so much less in this game, I'm actually going to draw Chauncey as low as I can, because even with dragging him as low as I can, I am inconsistent at 2 seconds in this guy. I find it very hard. So I'm just going to drag him as low as I can without stopping at 50. The ball catch does not work the same in this game, so I'm just going to do this strat. See, I didn't even get him below 50. I'm really bad at sucking up ghosts in this game. That might be an issue, but it's also just really hard. In LM1, you kind of just pull this control stick away every 5 health in normal mansion, 10 in hidden mansion. In this, you kind of just gotta wiggle and hope that it works. But other than that, the ghost damage and small other things I mentioned, this is the same as the original game for the Area 1. Ooh, I got the 2 cycle.
Ooh, nice. Let's go.
I don't get that very often, so I'm happy about that. The chest spawn here is different because they wanted to patch out of bounds, so they put it all the way over there. As you can see, it's like closer to the middle of the room than against the wall like it is normally.
Mm-hmm.
And because you can move around while the screen is white, it makes opening the chest optimal a little bit harder in my opinion. So here we are going to Area 2. Area 2 is where the run starts to have a little bit of a difference from the original game. It's still not anything crazy yet. The next split is pretty much the same. It's just, less damage on the vacuum. So the differences really don't start until we start dealing with booze. I don't know if I have 0 coins. I wasn't paying attention to my money count. I know the bottom screen shows it, but I just wasn't paying attention there.
I wasn't looking either.
So I don't know if I have 0 coins. If I do have 0 coins, 0 bills, 0 gold bars, 0 gems, I don't have to watch the money screen. But if I have any of those, I'll have to watch it. It'd be really cool if there was if I didn't have any of that, so I could show what it looks like. Also, this a small difference here is these portraits are a lot slower on this version. You'll notice that even though I'm mashing as fast as I can, these take a while to show up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, I had 7 coins. I saved the game on accident. That's unfortunate. Alright, I don't have to scroll down to Hand Mansion in this version, which is nice, because in this game, the Hand Mansion is basically like PAL, but you don't deal double damage with the vacuum, which means it's way slower. Also, there's no vines in this door, and that cutscene is a lot faster. So yeah, that's a bunch of things. And in this game, you can hold the B button to enter sidestep mode, which is pretty nice for hallway movement. I don't have to like do stuff with the C stick. I should mention that this game was not really meant to be played on the 3DS. It's pretty hard to control in this game. So yeah, if
Well, the
anybody
Game
plays this
Boy
game,
Horror is motion controlled, right?
yeah, you can use the motion controls to use it. That's another. I think that's a pretty cool change. It's not really that useful, but it is a change. Also, this key right here. For some reason, it doesn't load until after the cutscene, so you can't just pull it back immediately. You have to wait.
Why did they do that?
And I don't know. It's a very weird change.
That's just a not good change.
Yeah, that's a lot of things in this game. It's not very good changes in my opinion, and I think most people agree with me. You're gonna hear a lot of that. All right, here we go. I don't know if six piece is faster in this because doubles are not too much slower than normal, except for the fact that you deal less damage, of course. But I find it a lot easier to do six piece in this game, so I'm gonna take the safe and do some really baby strats here. I didn't get bonked, unfortunate. I missed one. That's whatever. Missing one's not that big of a deal. And early release, basically, they spawn instantly. By the way, after you get the shy guy, that's another change. Um, they
Oh.
they are the same. You can randomly lose 10 seconds, like I did this. Unfortunately, they didn't change anything about that. So yeah, right here they randomly spawn 10 seconds later if you don't get good luck. Unfortunate. Suck up. Yeah, suck ups in this game are really hard. Also, this poison mushroom is in a really bad spot. That was really bad.
Can you use the Game Boy Horror to dodge mushrooms in this game or no?
I believe you can, but usually it's not really worth it because they don't spawn. They only really spawn from portrait ghosts, and usually after portrait ghosts, you're doing other stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No early poster, unfortunately, and if there was, it'd probably be kind of hard because there's no notched controllers in this version, so you
Mm-hmm.
have to kind of deal with stupid stuff. I should mention that the ghost layouts are the same for basically every room in this game. There is like one difference in ghost layouts. Actually, I think there's two, although one of them might not be much of a difference as much as it's just weird. I'll mention that when it comes up later. So yeah, that's the storage room. Same as normal. So now after this is booze. Booze are a little bit different in this game. The general idea is the same. I'll talk about a few of the differences once we get there. But yeah, so this is just the same as normal. There's like a cinematic camera here. So yeah, these are the boos. As you know, if you've watched original Luigi's Mansion speedruns, you hold L and R together, let go, repress, R pump the boos. In this game, there's a few differences. One of the actual best ones is that because the vacuum is unaffected by distance, you can't really get double cackles from a boo being really high up or being really far away, which is pretty nice in my opinion. They can still happen though, it's just for different reasons. Um, and boos just feel different in this game. I don't know how to describe them. They just definitely feel a lot harder to deal with in this game. I feel like one cycling a 150 HP boo in this game is a lot harder than one cycling a 150 HP boo in the original game. So
Wait, so are you playing this on a new 3DS? So
yes,
you
I
have the
should
little
mention
C
that.
stick thing?
I have the C stick. I'm playing on the new 3DS. I should mention that. Yeah, I am playing on the new 3DS. Uh, so yeah, I'm also playing on the digital version, which digital version has usually has faster loads for basically every game ever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I should mention that as well. All right, so here's booze. No tech skips in this game. They fixed them. Also, you don't skip that animation. And so a good change that they made in this game is that the boo radar is accurate the instant you enter a room, even if it's clear. So this room I can actually read the boo. I don't have to just guess like you do normally. So you'll see that. In wardrobe room, it's the same thing, which means reading wardrobe room in this is a lot different than the original. So let's see. Where's his boo at? Not there.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so another change that you might not see is that wardrobe boo coming up can actually try to leave north, which is something that he normally can't do unless you're like in the post game state.
We forgot
Okay.
to mention that in ADU too.
Yeah, ADU it's the same thing. But for this it's I'll see if he does it. Yeah, that's something you normally don't see, and you also can't press the Y. You can't actually in the original game you can usually move after you catch a boo, but in this game you can't. You're stuck in place, which kind of sucks, but it's very small. It also means you can't do other things like pull up the Game Boy when you after you cycle the boo. So now we're coming to the storage room and the ballroom. So these boos are basically the exact same, minus of course the fact that the boos mechanics are a little bit different. This is being annoying.
Holy crap, the vacuum is so much worse.
Yeah,
It's the far right box, right?
I've already checked that one. Oh, it is there. I checked it, I swear. But yeah, like as you saw there, it didn't source that many boxes at once because the vacuum stream is a little bit more narrow, I think.
Yeah, it
So
looks like it goes farther, like it's stronger farther, but it's not as wide, is what it looks like.
yeah, instant accuracy. Uh, he's in the painting. I'm bad at reading that. And that boo's going up, which is something it normally also doesn't do in the original game. Unless
It's weird.
it can happen, but it doesn't really you won't usually see it in runs. But it did happen in this because for some reason they decided to make it so that boos can go in really, really stupid places. All right, so yeah, one thing I should mention is that because the vacuum is weaker, I'm not gonna vacuum the toilet. You can if you wanted to, but it would take a lot longer to search. So I'm just gonna use X to search it.
Yeah.
Now we're coming up to Mirror Room. Mirror Room's basically the exact same as Vanilla, except I'm not going to be saving and quitting because in this game, I should mention the Butler cycle is only loaded in the hallway. So this Butler cycle will always be the same unless you mess up hallway movement somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we don't really save and quit because saving and quitting this game takes longer because there's no soft reset, and it takes a little bit longer to get back into the game after you reset anyway. So I'm not going to bother saving and quitting anywhere.
That makes sense. So can you fire warp here or no? I'm assuming no.
No, because after a boo, the game completely freezes.
I see.
Yeah, the game completely freezes after you catch a boo and after you collect a medallion, which I will talk about later in Ice Stream, why that actually makes a difference.
Okay.
So one really small change is that while the boo, so you know how there's hold up, actually let me search for this boo. I'll point out. So when the boo comes on screen, it has this little text box above its head. While that's on screen, you cannot open chests. Which means
Huh.
if you spawn the boo, unless you open the chest before it goes to the middle of the room and he comes like he says it's like his little name, if you try to open the chest while his name is on the screen, it won't work. The game doesn't let you do it. It's in the painting. I didn't get the fire. But yeah, so normally you'd save and quit in this room, but in this category, you don't have to. You can just get the boo and then get fire and then walk out. And as you see, the fire is completely frozen during this text.
Yeah, I see. It just like freezes the game.
So because of that, it actually means that if you spawn a boo and then get a medallion, the boo will not move, which means you can like spawn like say Tyrion boo and then get the medallion and you won't have to worry about him leaving because he'll be frozen while the text is on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And that applies to water and fire as well.
So I know. So you can't do flashlight skips in this game, can
You
you?
can, but you have to shoot the fireball. Like I'll do
Oh
one right
yeah.
actually.
So
Never mind
if I
this.
remember, you have to press A while holding L to
So
shoot a
yeah,
fireball, right?
in the
And that's
original
how you
you
vacuum cancel too.
in the original you hold L slightly. Yeah, look at the Butler cycle. It's really good on this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You hold L slightly and then press it all the way down. And this you hold L and press A, and that is the only way you flashlight skip. But that uses a lot of elements, so I'm not really gonna be doing it much, unless I have a lot of spare. Then I might do it, but that's not very often that I have a lot of spare element. Here, I'm not gonna bother with the hat skip because I'm probably not gonna beat the butler, so I'm just gonna get the hat now.
Can you even do hat skip?
I believe you might be able to, but it's not really worth it just because the butler cycle is way hard to make because you're on 3DS. So,
Yeah.
and you saw how close the butler was to the right side.
Yeah. No, yeah. This looks really hard, especially with the worst vacuum.
So I'm barely gonna make it. So this is a route different. This is the first route difference. In No Out of Bounds, you normally do hidden room. In this game, I'm gonna opt to do pipe boo because pipe boo, if I can one cycle it and I can use ice to kill the ghost in the room, so it's not too much different from normal vanilla LM. And hidden room is a lot slower because not only is the boo obviously hard to deal with, the ghost will take a lot longer, which also means the bats are way more annoying, and you can't tech skip either. So for all those reasons, I will not be doing hidden room, and that key's in a different spot than normal. It's right below the chest. Naboo's not in there. So yeah, I'm not doing hidden room because of all those reasons. You can't get the tech skips. Um. So yeah, there's one other route difference. That is that I'm not gonna be getting armory boo. I'm gonna be getting because there's actually no reason to save and quit. And one cycling armory boo is really hard. I'm actually gonna get breaker boo and vanguard boo because I can very likely two cycle breaker boo. I'm not gonna bother with that check right now. That's just being stupid. This vacuum is really hard to deal with, by the way.
It looks really frustrating.
But honestly, there's yeah, like, the vacuum is really it's obnoxious, but the fact that it doesn't degrade over distance makes it in some ways better.
Yeah. Wait, so can you boo drag in this game or no? Because it
Uh,
doesn't look like it
kinda.
works as well.
It's way more annoying. So there I did a flashlight skip. It wasn't very good though. I'll try to do a better one after Melody. But yeah, so because of the fact I'm not going to be getting Armored Boo or Hidden Boo, I'm going to be getting Vanguard Boo, Breaker Boo, and Pipe Boo in Area 4, along with Weston and Stellar Boo. So that's like the main route difference versus No Out of Bounds.
I see.
The rest of it's the same as No Out of Bounds though, so yeah. Music melodies in this game is the same options, same spots where they answer choices, same music, all that's the same. Water theme, so I can just mash here.
So are there any like trick differences between this game and the first one? Like, as
Um,
in, does the 3DS have tricks that the original one doesn't have?
the only real trick that this game has that the other one doesn't is clipping out of bounds with a boo ball.
Right.
I'll try to show that off.
So,
This is also
okay,
really
yeah.
hard, annoying. I'll try to show that off, but the only other difference is that this game patched the tech skips. Oh yeah, and out of bounds is patched in this as well because the chest is in a different spot.
Yeah. Oh
That's
my gosh.
scary.
That's one.
Suck ups in this game, Portugals in this game are really scary. I'm gonna check here because nope, should not have done that. That key is also in a different spot. These are the only two keys in the game that are in different spots. Is that key and the butler's key? That's not a good switch. Eh, that's fine, I guess. That boo bomb made that really weird. Yeah, boo reasons this game feel a little bit different. So they're pretty hard to like. Sometimes they can be really hard to deal with.
Yeah. Does the radar still work the same though? Like,
Yeah, it still shows the boos roughly the same way. All right, I'll do a
okay,
flashlight skip
yeah.
here. I kind of did it.
There you go. That looks like a half cancel in the original game.
Yeah. All right, this lugs hitbox is stupider on this version. You kind of have to go a little bit further out the way. All right, so here we go. This is the kitchen. I'm not gonna. You can actually avoid getting hit by this, but because of the vacuum being so weak, I'm just gonna take the damage and lose a little bit of time. I should mention that you can skip the element thing, like you do in the original, by spraying element on the ghosts before they spawn, and I will be doing that in the safari room. But here I don't bother with it.
I see.
All right, so here we go. This is kitchen's the same as no out of bounds in LM1. Just get that, put out the door. get the boo. I should mention that in this game, you can leave a door basically as soon as you put out the fire. He's not. No, he's in here. There's no lump in the tablecloth, even though I hate tablecloths. So yeah, flashlight. I should mention vacuum skips are still, or vacuum cancels are still possible in this game. I'll be using them at least a little bit.
Yeah, so a flashlight skip is essentially just a vacuum cancel, right?
Yep, they
Just
both have the
doing it.
same inputs.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, here's spooky. One difference you'll notice is actually right after this. You'll notice the difference after I cycle up spooky here. It's a pretty weird difference that they decided to make. So yeah, basically every time there's a portrait ghost, one cycling it isn't like as easy as the original game. Like in the original game, almost every portrait ghost can be, at least in Out of Bounds, every portrait ghost can be pretty much reliably one cycled. Um, but in this game, basically every portrait ghost has a pretty good chance of breaking off. So there's a difference right there. Is this little cutscene? I don't know why that happens, but it does.
Oh yeah.
So this room has different ghost spawns. They spawn in the same spot. Oh yeah, also there's no stumble there. But if you look, the bottom one doesn't spawn yet. I have to kill these guys before the bottom guy spawns. It doesn't really matter because you get them afterwards anyway. But yeah, you have to kill one of those guys before this guy spawns.
That is strange.
It's one of the very few differences. I guess they made them separate waves where one of the ghosts. It's really weird. It's not really anywhere else in the game. Yeah, this cutscene happens a little bit further away as well, so that's something to note. So this fight, they actually made it so that in the original game, this fight's RNG, but if you don't touch anything, you'll manipulate it to be the same. This game, you can't do that. It's just RNG no matter what you do. So I have no idea where this guy's going to spawn, even though I was holding absolutely nothing when this area loaded.
Mm.
So unlike the other game, this fight's a little bit more tricky. Hopefully I 3 cycle. You can 2 cycle. I've almost never done it. Um, so if I get it, that'd be great. That'd be really good. But I'm gonna go for 3 cycle. There's a spawn. That's not a very good one, but that's a bad start. You saw how quickly he broke off there, even though I wasn't even doing that bad.
Yeah.
That's better, but I don't think 2 cycles gonna be pretty hard. Damn.
Oh.
4 cycles fine. Would prefer to 3 cycle, but oh, that was close. All right, so there's Bogmire. Uh, now we start area 3. So area 3, there's no route difference, because all the boos that we skip and extras we get are in 2 and 4. So right, area 3 is basically the exact same route. The only real difference is that we won't be saving and quitting from the projection room.
Right.
So all the other differences are just minor things, but I'll be talking about. This cutscene is basically the same. So, yeah. Everything in this game is a lot harder than the original game, though. In my opinion, there's not. The only thing that is really easier is not getting double cackles. But even then, it's like kind of small.
It's also probably worth mentioning that, well, at least in my opinion, using a 3DS to actually play games
Hmm.
is a lot harder than a
This
GameCube controller.
that's true, and especially for this game. This game really didn't feel like it was exactly meant for 3DS. If you could play this with a controller, it'd be a lot easier. But the fact of the
Yeah.
matter is, this game was designed for heavy use of the C stick, and on a 3DS, heavy use of the C stick is not really optimal because they didn't make the C stick very usable.
Yeah.
It's usually supposed to be for camera controls where it's fine for that, but not for precise movements. So that's area 2. The slower count. It also has an in-game time after every area. The original game does not have that. Uh, so as you saw there, I didn't have any money count, even though I definitely had money. And that's just because the game is just like that. Like,
It counts the money you got in that area, I guess, not in general.
yeah, it's really weird how money counting in this game works. So yeah,
Why is he walking like
if you
that?
hold the B button to go into sidestep, he does that.
Oh.
I just do it here because it's funny looking. Yeah, so that cutscene's faster for every area, which is honestly a good change.
Yep.
This water is really annoying. You can't fall down the ladder, you have to go down it.
Mm.
And you have to press X to start this cutscene, you can't just walk into it. So yeah, basically this is where we see Mario has been trapped by King Boo. And he wants to help him out. That's a weird thing right there. Alright, so here we have to get Mario's letter. And also you can't really stumble there. They changed that.
Mm.
You can't flashlight skip after that letter for some reason. My guess is the text on the screen is doing something. But yeah, you just can't.
So weird.
Yeah, there's a large amount of weird changes. So they changed a lot of stuff, but they did not change this. I'm not gonna try that again anymore. I don't want to run out of water. This is so bad.
What is that?
I can't believe that just happened.
There's no way.
So yeah, as you saw there, I ran out of water because the hitbox was so bad. I should have probably not tried to shoot it that many times, but I think that should have. I was definitely watering that door for a little while. That's a pretty bad time loss.
That's kind of insane.
It is.
So is it the door that has the bad hitbox or the water?
Probably both. I think the door hitboxes are worse because I've always had a harder time, even in the kitchen as well. Here, I'll try to get this again. Okay, that's not gonna work. But yeah, as you can see, you don't have to wait nearly as long to go through.
Oh yeah.
Also, this ghost, for some reason, if you look up into the sky, he does not spawn. If you're on the ceiling and you look towards the floor, he won't spawn. You have to be looking straight forward.
Oh,
This room also has a lot less objects that Boo can spawn in.
yeah. There's just less chairs in general.
Alright. So because the game freezes here, you'll see the Boo Bomb is probably going to hit me. Unfortunately, it wasn't a Boo Ball, or else I could have shown off the clip here. So in the original game, Abu would almost never go that high up, and if he did, he'd probably leave instantly. But in this game, I'm willing to bet he didn't double cackle a single time there, despite being so high up. Like in the original game, like that never Abu never goes that high up. Also, a weird change: if you hold L here, then you can still get scared. So there's really no point in doing it.
Yeah. In Tier Room, I guess it's kind of worth mentioning that depending on the object that it spawns in the original game, it can start that high up, but it'll never
Yeah,
like move that high up ever.
Yeah, boos in this game go way higher, but because of the changes they make, I'm also gonna do an intentional 2 cycle here. Ah, I literally let go of it barely too late. Normally, okay. So normally what I would do is, oh my god, this is awful. Normally I would let go of her and ice her again immediately. That way I can 2 cycle and not have to worry about poison mushroom spawning. Um, it was
I
kind
see.
of lucky she broke off there because otherwise I would have to deal with the poison mushroom in this really small room, and that is, not really something that I would want to deal with because this room is super
Yeah.
small.
I'm
Believe it or
surprised they
not,
didn't change that from the original game.
yeah.
Because you can do that in the original game too, just freeze her wherever you dropped her at.
So believe it or not, Nana in this game is actually for the most part the same, as you can see. Okay, well that was that would probably happen in the original game as well. One cycling in is actually pretty hard though because her pull. Oh, I one cycled her. All right, bad spawn. So as you saw there, the boo was spawning while the map cutscene was playing, which is kind of bullshit. Like
Yeah.
he can like move he can like leave while the map is showing up on the screen. In the original game, even if you do not have map glitch, that can't happen. So it's kind of a really small thing. All right, now we're coming up to Astral Hall. That that lock on like in the original game that probably would have locked onto the mice there, but here it didn't. Also, you can knock on doors in this game. If you press X too early, you'll knock on a door,
The
which is
prompt was
really
there
stupid.
though. What the heck?
Yeah, that might have been me not sitting in the right spot, but even there's sometimes where the prompt just doesn't show up.
I guess that's true. It's so weird.
Oh yeah, so in this room, I'll try to show it off. Because of the flashlight, you can do really crazy doubles. I'll try to do one here. I almost got it, but like that gold ghost would not have locked onto in the original game. He would have either despawned or been flashed for a
Yeah.
second.
What
These
is
guys'
that?
masks take longer to get off. It's a really stupid thing. And because of that, look how far away I'm standing in no double. Okay, well I had a double tackle there, but yeah.
That is
All right.
nice for catching boos, but in general, I would probably definitely prefer the LM1 vacuum.
Yeah, me too. All right. That as an X prompt, by the way. I mean, a lot of things in this game have an X prompt that don't have any prompts in LM1.
Yeah.
So Moonshot is more or less the same. It is a little bit different because you're on a 3DS, so obviously the visual cue will be a little weird. But for the most part, it's roughly the same. It's not too much harder to hit on this than the original. But because of the C stick being bad, it can be hard to very slightly change your adjustment. Okay, that was a little bit wide to the right.
And it also like zooms you in when you have a star.
Wide left. This is way harder. Also, in this you can actually aim the moon too high.
Oh, that is different.
But if you aim all the way down, all right, there we go. If you aim all the way down, you will hit it. But I've had times where I had a perfect lineup, and because I wasn't aiming all the way down, I shot above the moon, and it didn't register.
Huh.
In the original game, you can't really aim up or down when you have that thing locked on. You're stuck, which is a good thing. I think it should be like that.
Yeah.
So here we are going to the star. So yeah, Clairvoyant is still the same. You need 5 of her items. Interestingly enough, on the hidden mansion in this game, they're all in different spots except for the star. For example, the letter is in the twins' top left object. You get an item for clearing the courtyard and bank shots room. and just stuff like that. It's really weird.
Hmm.
Things that you would not expect.
Excuse me.
So yeah, if you play the remake, if you play the animation on this, know that the Mario items are in different spots. You actually have to clear the courtyard and bank shot, which almost no other speedrun except for like max% clears the courtyard. So that's a cool thing in my opinion. Vacuuming is not very good, so I'm just gonna knock on this. So yeah, no saving quitting here, and usually you save and quit out of this room. We're gonna have to do the 2020 strats and mirror warp from billiards room. So I messed this up like that.
That almost worked still. That would never work in the original game.
It wouldn't even be close. You probably get lucky to get one of them.
Yeah.
I missed that. That's unfortunate. But yeah, like this game, just dealing with ghosts in general is way harder.
Yeah.
All right, I get to show off the the chest not opening. See, I'm mashing X there and it didn't open.
Oh, that's so weird.
And as you see, I can't like land on the glove or vacuum it or anything. I have to walk into it because of the game freezing after you getting a boo. Yeah, you see how I'm frozen there for a little bit after I get a Mario item?
Mm-hmm.
I did not mean to do that. What is that?
What what even were you scanning there?
I think it thought I was getting like a painting or something. I don't know.
I guess.
All right, so here we go to this area. I'm very low on fire because I did a lot of vacuum and flashlight skips because, well, that's kind of what you're supposed to do. The boost switched into there, I think.
Are you gonna refill fire in here?
Nah, it's not worth it.
Okay.
Because getting fire there is a lot more annoying, so I'm just not going to bother with it.
Oh yeah, I could see that being the case.
All right, this is a really kind of nice change, although it also is kind of stupid. In this game, this is a normal fan. So you just stand here and vacuum it and it spins. You don't have to spin it around like manually.
I see.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad change. On one hand, it's kind of nice that you don't have to deal with it being weird, but the other time it's slower and, less fun.
Right.
But I think if you had to manually spin it around, it'd be really annoying. So
Yeah, definitely on these controls. Oh, your vacuum gets stuck wherever the cutscene happens at.
that happens in the original, but it's like a little bit more tight. Like you have to pull out the vacuum earlier. It's weird.
Yeah.
All right, these guys are mostly the same, but because a single portrait ghost alone is hard to deal with, dealing with two at once, I'm probably gonna drop both of these guys at least once. Double one cycles is pretty hard, yeah, like that. They just have so much control over you. I'm not gonna bother with him just yet. This is
Dang.
rough. I'm just gonna deal with this guy. Now I have to dodge the poison mushroom and the other twin, although that's not that big of a deal. Alright, that was really bad, but you know what? I'm not gonna be too upset about it. Alright, so there I opened the chest before he spawned. I'm gonna get this because he's gonna be frozen. And now I'm locked in place for... Yeah, see how I got locked in place from the shoe and I couldn't move?
Man, it feels like this game is just more clunky. Like you don't have as much freedom over your character.
It definitely is sometimes, but like as you saw there, look how far away the boo was without any double cackles.
Yeah.
All right, there's another really small change here. In the original game, if you vacuum or knock the bed, you'll search the object, but in this game, you have to pull off the bed sheets to spawn the boo. If the boo is in the bed,
Oh.
you can't just knock it, like the parlor. There's no tuck skip in this game though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if the original game, that'd be actually kind of shit if that happens, because you sometimes just not get to RNG.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really matter in this game, but it'd be pretty bad if it's the other game. All right, so here's a scan. All right, and now we're on the Clairvoya, and I get to mash for a minute and a half on a 3DS, which is awfully fun. Luckily, there's a prompt here, so I don't have to worry about not knowing if I can talk to her. So yeah, this is the same as the original. You just sit here and mash for a long time. Luckily, um, actually, there's no luckily. It's just the fact that Japanese is a lot faster here than English. So, luckily, I'm playing on Japanese, and I don't have to deal with mashing for longer.
For sure.
So yeah, this is probably the biggest time save Japanese has over the US. I think it's even more time save on this version. I don't remember exactly how much, but I think I timed it out to be like over 10 seconds. Like maybe closer to
Oh well.
20. It's a lot though. But that might be because the timing I was using had bad mashing or something, but yeah, Japanese saves a lot of time here on mashing alone.
And can you change the text of this game like in the menu, or is it version
I
specific?
think it's only PAL that can do that.
Oh, okay. So kind of like the original.
Yeah. All three versions came out at like the exact same time, so the only difference is text. At least that I'm
I
aware
see.
of. There's no you know,
Version
crazy stuff.
exclusive.
Yeah, like the text skips or double damage or hidden mansion be different on PAL. None of that is in this game. They're all the same. And I'm finally done with Clairvoya. Mm. So here I kind of just spin my sticks because honestly, I don't know how else to fight her. I've tried doing the normal strat. I've tried doing the spinning the control C stick, and they both just are really weird. So yeah, there we go. I didn't see the prompt that time. That was a good chest open. That's one of the few times where the game runs zooming while the map is open is a good thing, because that boo was able to spawn a little bit faster than if it wasn't moving.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go up on Safari Room. I still have to grab ice for it. My health is at 58, which just shouldn't be an issue. I don't think I'll die on Boolympics. I might get the heart in Safari just in case, because it doesn't lose too much time. So yeah, Safari Room is actually the exact same as the original game, for the most part. Sorry about that notification sound. I'll turn it off in the Boolympics cutscene. In the fact that they all spawn in like the same spots, and you can get a double the same way, and you can hover ice over them to skip their thing being frozen. So this is one of the most same-ish rooms of all the whole run. All right, so the only difference really is that you have to activate all three of these. You can't just activate the middle one like in the original. That's unfortunate. That's like one of the honestly one of the weird like I think a change that It is worse for the speed run, but I think it's a reasonable change. Like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because only activating one of them is pretty weird. That's unfortunate. Damn. Rough Safari Room.
Yeah, and they're so far
Oh my
away
god.
too.
Please? Oh my god, dude. Um, this is so bad. This is so hard, dude.
Yeah, it seems pretty hard.
Rip. I would do the blue ball clip, but I don't know where it puts me. And if it puts me out of bounds, I don't want to like lose my run because of it.
Yeah.
The only place I know for sure where it puts me is T rim. He puts me right outside Biff's rim. All right. Tells me about 20 boos. All right, here's Bulosis. This is easily the hardest part of the run. One cycling this guy, I have such a hard time with it. Because there's no notch in this game, and when you try to vacuum the ice, your angle, like Luigi, moves around. And popping Bulosis is different. Like this entire fight is, in my opinion, the hardest part of this game. One cycling this guy.
So in the original, if you're in standard, like you can move around and get perfect angles, right? But can you do that in this game?
The issue is there's no notch on the controller, so holding directly right is pretty hard.
Yeah. Okay.
So here is Big Bad Bulosis. So there's a strat here that you can do, which I'm gonna try to do, but it's really, really annoying. Like this is just awful. He popped himself. Okay, I'm just gonna YOLO this. Actually, I'm not gonna do the strat. So yeah, as you can see, that's pretty typical Bulosis, honestly. And now I have to deal with this medium Bulosis,
Mm.
which is not very fun. Even in the original game, it's not very fun.
In the original game, it's really painful. Oh wow. Yeah. No, this looks horrible because of the vacuum not being as wide.
Yeah, this is just not very good. I think the ice hitbox might be different when you shoot an ice ball. Yeah, this is awful. Okay, I got that guy. Got that guy. It is easier to randomly get boos like that, though. Usually that's really hard to do in the original. Just randomly
Yeah.
spray boos. In this game, they made it a little bit easier. But, other than that, this fight is a nightmare.
In the original game, you basically there's like a setup to get middle and late booze.
I missed that guy.
Oh, how did I miss actually?
Don't. Okay, well, he can't reform anyway, so. Alright. That's pretty typical. I hate that fight so much. Yeah, you. And there's Bulosis.
There we go.
I believe that key spawns somewhere else. Actually, no, I think I'm lying. So now we go to Area 4, and because I skipped out on Hidden Room and I'm skipping Armory Room, I'm going to do Van Gore, Pipe, and Breaker Boo all together, which is normally you only do one of those, and that's either Van Gore or Breaker Boo, but in this one I'm doing all three. Because like I
Pretty
said earlier,
understandable.
I would do Armory Boo, but if I lose Armory Boo, um, which is very, very common in this because, 150 health Boos are hard to one cycle. There's a very good chance that he goes like the Clockworks room or telephone room, and I don't want to deal with that, so I'm just gonna take a small time loss and get Breaker Boo instead. In this game, one thing I should mention is that Boos, when you reload the mansion, their health doesn't change, and also because I'm not saving quitting, I don't have to I don't have to go back and check if Breaker Boo's in Breaker Room. I can check if he's in Pipe, and if he's not, then I can get him before King Boo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I can just try one cycle Breaker Boo, and if I or try, well, I'm not gonna one cycle him, but I'll get him as low as I can, and then I'll see if he's in Pipe Room, and if he's not, I'll go get him in Breaker Room before King Boo, and I won't lose any time. So that's one of the reasons why Breaker Boo is better. So here we go, the final area of the game. Getting fire here is really stupid on this version, so I'm gonna take it a little safe. Like it's not like the original where it's kind of easy. This fire is really annoying, so I'm just gonna do this. So yeah, Area 4 is definitely really hard on this because um, I believe they actually nerfed Weston. I think if Weston was like the original game, because like one cycling Weston on the original game in normal mansion is already almost like is really really hard as it is. So in this game it should be like almost impossible, but you can like one cycle him 150 health or something. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I've one cycled him on the hidden mansion, which he has 150 health. So I believe they nerfed Weston pretty heavily, which is a good thing. They definitely should have. They definitely needed to nerf Weston, or else he would have
True.
been so hard in this game. So because of the fact that you can hold the B button to go into sidestep, blackout is kind of easier. I don't have to pause the game to switch to blackout. I just hold the B button or sidestep. I just hold the B button. So yeah, blackout's more or less the same thing as the original game. Unfortunately, that I held the L button there for too long, so I turned around. But yeah, blackout's basically the same. I won't be going for Pythagoras skip because scare skipping is really weird in this game. Not that I want to go for it if I could, I probably wouldn't, but I'm gonna be going around the table. The 2018 strats. No instant grim, unfortunately. This guy is really annoying to suck up. Alright, now we have this. Scary. And as you can see, this scan box still sucks in this game.
Yeah, that wardrobe hitbox is pretty big
Yeah, it's
for scanning.
annoying. Alright, so now Breaker Boo. Due to the fact that boo dragging isn't really a thing in this game, one cycling this guy isn't really a viable option. So I'm gonna get him as low as I can for a 2 cycle later on. Hopefully he goes to Pipe Room. If not, then oh well. We'll take a little bit of time lost at the door. He's in the cloth when there's no lump.
Is that a normal thing in this game?
Uh, I don't think so. I haven't checked this room enough though. I usually he's usually in the barrels. All right, top barrel doesn't matter. All right, that's a good decent amount of damage. All right, I don't do doubles in this room because it's the vacuum is really annoying to deal with. So I'm just gonna do this like normal. Also, vacuuming this barrel sucks.
Yeah, the only reason you can really get away with vacuuming that barrel in the first game is because you can get the dust pile at the same time because the vacuum is so wide.
No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to vacuum that key, but it took too long. Alright. Alright. So now, normally in the original game, you check if Breaker Boo is back in Breaker Room, but because we don't do any saving quits, this Boo will never have a chance to go back in there, so we'll see if he's in Pipe Room, and if he's not, we'll get him right before we beat the game. So that's kind of a nice thing about Game Breaker Boo, is not needing to worry about that. So now is probably the hardest part of the game, Toy Soldiers. In the original game, the Toy Soldiers are pretty strong, and in this game they're also pretty strong, and I have to deal with three of them. So not only do I have to deal with three ghosts that I probably won't be able to one cycle, but I have to deal with one or two other ones attacking me while also dealing with a poison mushroom they'll spawn, all at the same time. So I usually like four cycle all these guys. It's really hard. Um, so yeah, I need to get this as well. So yeah, this is probably the hardest room in the game to do fast, except for maybe Bulasis. I still think Bulasis one cycle might be harder, but one cycling all these guys would be incredible if I did that, just because of how much stuff you have to dodge while also dealing with the fact that they're hard to one cycle on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna hope and pray that this doesn't, I don't lose a large amount of time here. That's unfortunate. And I bonked into him. Normally that guy despawns, but he didn't, so I messed up. And there's a knock on the door. I think it's the second time I've knocked on the door. Normally, normally in the other game, it's okay.
Beautiful.
These things are also really weird that their sound disappears when you walk away from them. All
Yeah,
right.
it's almost like proximity.
These things are more annoying to get off because of the vacuum. All right, there's a poison mushroom, and now I have to stay away from that. Yeah, I tried to intentionally get dragged so that I would get away from them, but I didn't. I'm gonna get double here on accident. Yeah, that's not very good. This is just the worst room in the game, in my opinion. I find this so hard to deal with. All right, I think I can one cycle the rest of them, or at least the pink one I can get rid of. The green one might be a little hard. If I can't get him here, I can definitely get him next cycle. Actually, maybe I can't. I thought I'd get him for longer. All right, this guy's gonna die though. At least he should. All right, there's that guy, and now it's just this guy. You don't really lock onto these things as well, so getting them off is a lot more annoying. I hate the valves in this game. Look at it. Look how fast you can go through here. This is really weird. Look at that.
It is weird.
There's also an X prompt you have to press there. In the normal game, you walk onto it, but in this game, you have to press X. That's spawning differently as well. Alright, I'm just gonna burn these guys. Normally I go for a 6 piece, but I don't really think that's a good idea in this game because you deal damage so slowly. Also, these guys' health are like really weird how they just sometimes don't show up. It's so annoying. I got I got rid of his shield thing. That was a good suck up there.
There you go.
Alright, so for whatever reason, this ladder you actually can just walk off. You don't have to climb down this ladder, but the other one you can't. I should be able to
Do
get
you
you
need
this.
element
I believe, yeah.
or just your
Like that.
vacuum out?
And you also can't stumble, so you always get Caleb skip, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
All right, here's armory. No boo, so this room is way easier. This room is the same for the most part, although the blue twirler is a little bit harder to get because of the less damage.
So do you just do like the old strat in here? The
I do the
triple?
strat I usually do. The triple, yeah, I guess that's the strat I do in the normal game anyway. You probably could do like a 5 piece or something.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I got smacked. I'm gonna let this guy spawn. I don't want to deal with multi ghosts. I'm also getting low on health. I'll get some health in the cellar. I prefer if I didn't get hit by that. I'm playing this room safe. I don't want to lose a lot of health in here. I should be fine now. But yeah, just because of the controls and everything, this is a little bit harder of a room.
This room is already one of the hardest in the original game, at least in Out of Bounds.
That's unfortunate. I'm surprised it didn't lock on. One of the rare times the vacuum is not very good in this game. I should have gotten the I should have opened up the mirror when I was over there, but I kind of forgot. And that's chest. That wasn't really a chest glitch. I was just pumping it. All right, so now instead of getting the boo and say warping, I mirror warp
hmm
because I don't want to deal with this boo. So now we're going downstairs, and there's currently 3 boos I need to get down here: Weston boo, pipe room, and breaker boo. Still not sure if breaker boo is in breaker room or not. I'll find out soon enough. Get the heart here just because I'm. So in this game, these dust piles are kind of annoying, and there's also the fact that the ones on these little switches actually stay gone when you leave the room. So when I come back later, that dust pile will be gone. So because of that, I'm just gonna use that instead of walking around and getting all the things constantly.
The main reason it's slower in the original game is because it generates a lot of lag as well to flip
Yeah,
on the
there's no
ceiling.
lag. So I need to clear this room. I need to spawn these guys first. See if Breaker was in here. He is.
Nice. Let's go.
That's some good luck there. And now I have to find Pipe Boo, and maybe I can one cycle him. One cycling him is harder in this because of just the game itself, but for the most part, it's the same idea. This is very annoying. Alright, I'm just gonna have him go down. That's manageable. Another X prompt for people who like it, and this is really stupid.
What is happening?
The ledge is really dumb there.
Holy crap.
I hate that ledge so much in this. Alright, so now there's 2 boos I need in Weston's room. There's Pipe Boo and Weston Boo. No, I didn't get Pipe Boo that low. Actually, I think I'm a 90. He should be one cyclable. Weston Boo is going to be really hard to one cycle because he's at 150, and in the original game he's already pretty hard. So, add in this game, and it's just kind of hard.
Yeah, at least every room is lit around you though, so it's not
Yeah, that's the
that
main reason
that
why I get
bad.
Pipe Boo. That's another reason why I get Pipe Room instead of Hidden Room. Is that way if I lose this Boo up, which is very common, I don't lose. I don't have to chase him back down. All right, let's see how much damage it's gonna get. Like, see, I just one cycled him, and doing that on the original game normal mansion is like insanely hard. And I just did it on the 3DS version, so you can see how he got nerfed.
For sure.
Okay, I'm going all over the place here.
He's honestly pretty hard to one cycle in the hidden mansion in the original game.
That's Weston. No, dude, don't do this. go right. That's unfortunate, but not that bad of a, not that bad. All right, there's. I know saving coin is a lot slower in this, but I'm almost tempted to do it from Hyper Room because that's a lot further than this room. Although it's not that further actually.
Yeah, I don't know how slow saving quit is, but
It's
if it's
basically you have to save the game and then pause exit, and then there's like a decent amount of time in between going to the title screen and going to the file. He hid. I was hoping he wouldn't hide. It's fine. The main reason why I don't want to save and quit is because I don't want to have to grab fire from the hallway again for Vangor. Although I might do anyway. I'm not sure. I'm gonna do it
we're
because
pretty low.
I use fire. I sometimes use fire a lot in Vangor because Vangor kind of sucks in this version. All right, I'm gonna take this again just because I hate dealing with the dust piles in this version. It might be slower, but it's easier, and that's kind of what I want from this is easier time.
Yeah,
All right, so Vangor, it's the same as vanilla. It's just LM1. It's just the only difference is that you deal a lot less damage to them, so it's really hard to not break off. Although because of the fact that the vacuum's more powerful, getting the triples is generally easier. They can still be kind of hard sometimes, but usually I have more luck in this one than the original game, just because the flashlight doesn't really get any weaker.
yeah,
So I'm going to get fire there.
that wasn't so bad.
Nah. All right. So here we go. So this is yeah, Vangor. There was one really stupid change, and that is when the ghosts are spawning from the painting, you actually lose control of Luigi. Even though that happens in the original, but your flashlight will be on, which means if you're facing the ghosts when they spawn, they will all just despawn because your flashlight's on them and you can't do anything about it.
Oh wow.
So I'm gonna have to make an active effort to be facing away from them, or else I'll just despawn them when they spawn. It's really awful to deal with, but it's just I have to deal with it. So, and then we deal with this. So yeah, as you can see, if I was facing them, they would have got hit by the flashlight, but I luckily wasn't. Yeah, not breaking off there is pretty difficult. That was good though.
There you go, clean back up.
Alright, I'm gonna
Uh
despawn these
oh.
guys though. Probably. Okay, I was able to turn it off in time. I think if I was in a different spot, they would despawn. Alright, I broke off one of them. The fact I got two of them is really good.
Oh,
That's stupid, honestly, but whatever. I'm gonna do that instead. Alright, these guys. I think they're spawning closer to each other in this version.
it kind of looks like it. Yeah,
Alright, these
those
guys.
ones are known for being the hardest triple in the original game.
Yeah, in this game, the triple setups are really easy. Okay, this is not easy. I didn't fire that guy. Really unlucky. It might not be good. Okay, we should be fine.
And this is probably a really hard
Not
triple
to
to
not
actually
not
one
to break
cycle.
off. Yeah, this is like almost impossible. I'd say it's impossible to not break off these in the Hidden Mansion one because
Oh
in the
yeah,
Hidden
the
Mansion one,
five.
no, in the Hidden Mansion one, there's five of them and they all have 60 health.
Oh wow, yeah, that's insane.
I think actually I don't remember if there's five. I think I remember there not being five. I've tried the IL for Hidden Mansion before. Okay, yeah, that is really stupid. All right, so here's the last ghost. This key also takes an
Oh,
insanely long time to spawn for some reason. Like you'll see what I mean. Like I'll be able to like almost kill the boo before the key spawns. It's really stupid.
really?
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see what I mean. Well, not kill the boo, but like start damaging it. Yeah, see.
Why does that work like that? Then you're frozen the whole time?
Yeah, he's leaving the rim. I was hoping to get good luck in having him go to the right, but that's unfortunately not how that works. But yeah, as you saw how long that key takes,
Yeah, that's insane.
I'm probably not. I'm probably gonna stop trying to go for that and just spawn him after getting the key.
Probably a good idea.
No double tackles, by the way.
That's so insane.
He's in the ceiling. I don't think I've ever seen a boo go that high in the original game, even close to that high.
No, no, it's not possible, I'm pretty sure.
And there he is in the ceiling. I don't know why boos like to rise so much. I might two-cycle this guy. This is gonna be kind of close. Nah, he double tackled somewhere.
I think it was at the start.
Small mention is that you can't flashlight skip before that cutscene ends, by the way. Like in the original game, like if you shoot an element ball, it just shoots it over and over again. In this game, you can't even do that.
Hmm.
You're like locked. You're like frozen before you can do it. All right, time for King Boo, which by the way is for the most part damaging him is easier. The rest of the fight is harder because in this, I'll actually explain it when it happens.
I see.
If all goes well, I can get like a 119 this run. Maybe not. No,
Can
I can for sure
you
get 119.
can you one cycle in this game or not?
Yeah, one cycle was found in this game in like 2018.
Uh,
So yeah, people have been
is
one
it like the
cycling him.
same setup?
For the most part, you just have a lot more time to do it. Like you don't have to shoot the second ball instantly. Like you can shoot it basically before you even start damaging him or something. It's really crazy how much easier it is. And as you see, I don't have to
Oh,
deal with the dust piles. I can just do that. Okay, so this is the final boss. Like I said, um, fun fact: if you play on the Hidden Mansion, you can actually skip the boss cutscene here and just start right into the fight. Like the game has like an option that's like press A to skip, like you saw on the door in the bottom screen there. I don't know if you're paying attention, but
oh
it's a
yeah.
skip. On the final boss, this is the same thing in the Hidden Mansion. Like I could skip this entire cutscene if I was playing on Hidden Mansion. I don't know
Dang.
why they only made it so it's Hidden Mansion, and I don't know why it's only this cutscene and not literally any other cutscene in this game.
That is weird.
I would prefer it if it was like Clairvoya, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, King Boo, it is different, but the damaging him, you have a lot more time. So, because in the original game, while he's returning to Bowser, he is invincible, but in this game, he's vulnerable. So as he's walking back to Bowser, you can damage him.
Oh, cool.
So you can realistically get him to like almost 200 health without even doing an instant, like without doing a backup strat or anything. So yeah, it's way easier. The hard part is getting the bomb and shooting him with it because in this game, the bomb hitbox is giant. You have to be really far away from Bowser to hit him with a bomb. And if you get hit by the bomb, you'll actually be losing a lot of health. So this fight sucks for that reason. Um, but yeah, aside from that, like you just stand like here to grab the bomb. It might be a little higher up than this. It's like really precise though.
Mm.
Yeah, I missed it. Yeah, see that hit me, and now I'm getting damage in this cutscene, so I'm gonna be having to recover while King Boo's out and about, so I'm losing damage on him.
Oh yeah, damaging him is way easier. I see what you mean.
Okay, well that's really bad. But yeah, you see how I got this 275 from with getting damaged and from how bad that was.
Yeah, you could probably still two cycle this, right?
Yeah, if I don't get hit by this bomb. Okay, that's way better. All right, I can do cycle this. Look how high up he is. Oh no, my C stick. No, I'm not two cycling.
Dang. That's
Oh
still
well.
close considering what happened.
I'll show off a difference actually if you watch. Instead of getting stuck on this house like he normally does, he bounces off of it.
Okay.
Like in the original game, you lose like a year if you get stuck on the house. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm getting a 119. But I'm still finishing underestimate, so I'm happy.
There you go. Nice. You caught the bomb.
I hit it like 30 something. Say there's like a 121x. There we go. 120.09.
GG.
GG. Thanks for being here as my person that doesn't know what's happening commentator.
Yeah. This game has so many weird things for no reason.
So I am going to basically so yeah, so that was a very interesting run. A lot of dumb stuff happened, but at the same time some things went right. Uh I got to show off basically almost every. I think I mentioned basically every difference that's relevant to the speed run. There's a lot of them, as you could tell.
Hmm.
That's like 90% of what I was commentating because honestly, I think that's like the best way to explain this game is just comparing it to the original because it's like the most similar. Most people know the original, but not anything about this game. So
Right.
I think I did a good job showcasing most of what this game has to offer. One last
Well, GG.
difference
Well
I should
done.
mention is that this game saves right before the credits, and then you have to watch the credits to save and get a new file, which is pretty weird.
That is kind of
So
strange.
yeah, thanks for commentating. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to end the stream to get onto the Luigi's Mansion arcade layout, which kind of sucks, but I'll do that, and then after that, I will start streaming the LM arcade run, and then after that, we're gonna have to figure out something for Twisted Elf's run. Luckily, I finished a decent amount ahead of estimate. You finished really far ahead of estimate. LM arcade could hopefully go under estimate, so we might have some time to get everything situated. So yeah, I will have to cut
Yep.
the stream. Don't go anywhere, guys. The stream will be back up in a short